Let me guess. You were minding your own business and selling up a storm for your company, and then, bam, they promote you to sales manager. Now, all your old boss wants you to do is clone yourself and develop a team of people who are just as good as you are at sales, or at least you were. But you get trapped putting out fires that salespeople start, and you never quite find the time to develop the people who develop your top-line revenues. Am I close? In the Accidental Sales Manager, I'm going to show you how to extricate yourself from the sales management trap. I've enlisted the help of the very best sales leaders I've ever known and worked with. I ask each of them the same question. What did you learn about sales management the hard way? You're going to love the chapter I'm calling 14 Things You Don't Have to Learn the Hard Way. You get nothing but field-tested and proven advice. Here's one piece of that advice. Your salespeople will let you do their jobs for them and go home early unless you insist that they do their own selling and hold them accountable. I'm serious. Another thing, they'll negotiate harder in your office than they will in their customer's office unless you lay down the law. Shocking, I know. One more thing. Unlike you, they'll bring their personal problems to work with them because they don't compartmentalize their lives very well. Maybe you've already noticed. I had an absolute blast interviewing these sales leaders because they shared their failure stories as well as their success stories. That's what leaders do. They don't try to portray themselves as perfect, but as people who grew because of their mistakes. You might want to try it. Now, one of the things that speakers like me joke about when we're at our conventions is that it's easier to get a new audience and come up with a new speech. I know it's real funny, but very true. When I was a sales manager, I had to come up with 50 sales meetings a year. My team had seen my shtick, and your team has seen yours. No matter how good you are, it gets old. That's why there's a chapter on shaking up your sales meetings. 23 ways to add impact, variety, and even suspense to keep your salespeople engaged. Things like inviting a guest speaker to your sales meeting or holding your meeting in a customer's facility, and 21 more ideas. It isn't the first chapter in the book, but maybe it's the first chapter you should read. Look, if your sales meetings were optional, would people attend anyway? And if you charged them a measly $5 to attend your sales meetings, would they pay it? Because every sales meeting you run adds value to their day and makes them better salespeople, right? Or are some of them pretty boring? You know, salespeople rolling their eyes and emailing under the conference room table on their smartphones. You can read that chapter and instantly have more compelling sales meetings and more engaged salespeople. I'd love to have you become a reader, and I value your feedback. Be sure to read my rant on the secrets of motivation that motivational speakers never speak about. I'm going to give you a hint. The biggest motivator is closing a sale. So your job as sales manager isn't motivating people to make sales, it's getting them to make sales so they become and stay motivated. That makes your job so much easier. So will my new book. So order The Accidental Sales Manager, get out of the sales management trap, get more out of every member of your sales team, and go home early for a change.